Imagine carrying an invisible weight, one that you can barely feel until it becomes unbearable. This is the silent challenge that many individuals with ADHD and autism face daily as they mask their true identities to fit into a social norm that has never considered them. And the surprise? This Herculean effort, which seems to be the only way out, ends up draining their energy and culminating in profound burnout. Isn't it ironic? What is supposedly protecting them from judgment and criticism ends up creating even more suffering. Few understand the cost of this, not just emotionally, but also mentally and physically. Have you ever stopped to think about what it's like to live with the survival mode always activated? Indeed, masking forces many to constantly repress their natural traits in an attempt to appear normal in the eyes of others. But society is changing, and fortunately, there's more space to discuss the impact of all this. What if there were another way? What if, instead of trying to hide who they really are, they could embrace these characteristics without fear of judgment? Here, you will understand why masking has such a high cost and how the world is beginning to view neurodiversity through a different lens. Are you ready for this new perspective? Masking behavior. Masking is a term that sounds mysterious, but many with ADHD and autism know it well, even if perhaps without realizing it. Imagine someone with unique characteristics trying to camouflage these traits to fit into a world designed for neurotypicals. In meetings, for example, many pretend to understand jokes or suppress their own interests to avoid appearing weird. This behavior creates a social mask to avoid judgment. But what is the price of maintaining this disguise? The idea of masking natural traits is not new. From an early age, many learn that expressing their uniqueness can be inappropriate and that acting like others is the way to avoid criticism. Individuals with ADHD and autism often adapt to this dynamic from childhood, altering their manner of speaking, behaving, and even thinking, much like an actor adjusting to their role. However, unlike a theater play, this script is not merely a temporary act, it extends across various daily situations, creating an invisible mental burden. Masking, in essence, is a survival strategy for many neurodivergent individuals. However, this constant adaptation is not healthy and comes with a significant cognitive load. Imagine having to remember how to act in every social moment. This generates an exhaustion that few comprehend. This behavior may help avoid unwanted stares and comments, but it creates a silent trap. The person finds themselves stuck in an image that doesn't always reflect who they truly are. And, as efficient as this mask may be, it doesn't last forever. Social pressures and consequences. The social pressure to be normal can be overwhelming for those with ADHD or autism. This pressure leads many to mask their differences to avoid comments or judgmental glances. In the workplace, for instance, a person may hide attention difficulties or less common facial expressions to appear more professional. This camouflage, while useful for avoiding confrontation, conceals the true complexity of these conditions and distances the individual from genuine identification. But what is the cost of trying to be someone they are not? This masking practice not only delays accurate diagnoses, but also confuses others' perceptions, creating an image that does not match reality. Imagine a friend who always seems okay, even when they are trying too hard to appear balanced. This false impression can lead even the closest people to think everything is fine, unaware of the ongoing effort and often silent suffering behind the mask. In the long run, this duplicity between what is shown and what is felt creates a psychological toll that few imagine. After all, pretending to be something one is not consumes energy and attention, distancing the individual from genuine relationships. Personal connections, in fact, may suffer because the masked version others see does not allow them to truly know the person. This creates an invisible barrier, making it even more challenging for those living with ADHD or autism to open up to others. Impact on mental health. Maintaining the mask for extended periods may seem like a solution to avoid conflicts, but the impact on mental health is profound. Individuals with ADHD or autism who mask their traits face enormous psychological strain, with effects ranging from stress to burnout. Picture someone spending the entire day monitoring every action to fit in. This accumulated tension ultimately results in complete exhaustion. It's like trying to keep up a perfect facade all the time until fatigue simply no longer allows it. This constant state of internal vigilance creates a sense of isolation, as the person feels they can never be authentic. The loneliness that accompanies masking is intense, even when surrounded by others. The expressions that naturally arise must be suppressed, affecting connection with those around them. Those who strive to hide ADHD or autism traits often report feelings of disconnection, as if they are living in a parallel world where their own emotional needs are sidelined. Over time, this mental burden seriously affects well-being, creating a cycle of exhaustion and anxiety. The individual enters a constant state of alertness, as if each interaction is a survival test. This repetitive cycle makes recovery difficult, as the mind is already programmed to react defensively. Instead of relaxing, the body and mind remain trapped in constant vigilance, with no respite, leading to long-term consequences for mental health. And it is at this point that the impact goes beyond the emotional, reflecting physically as well. Shift in society's perspective. Fortunately, society is beginning to rethink its view on the neurodiverse, gradually embracing the idea that there is no single standard for being normal. Acceptance of ADHD and autism as natural variants, rather than something to be hidden, is gaining momentum. This change is visible in various areas, such as the workplace, where companies now understand that neurodivergent individuals bring unique perspectives. Small adjustments in the environment or in communication can already allow these individuals to thrive, showing that being different is valuable. This acceptance does not only mean inclusion, it represents a shift in how we understand what it means to be human. For generations, hiding distinct traits was almost an implicit rule to avoid discomfort. Today, society is beginning to understand that these traits do not need to be cured or adjusted, but rather respected. For many with ADHD or autism, this opens up a new possibility for self-confidence. It's an opportunity to finally breathe and let their true identity show to the world, free from the fear of judgment. This progress, however, is just the beginning of a larger transformation where the value of cognitive diversity is fully recognized. Yet, even with this change, those with ADHD or autism still face challenges in shedding their masks and embracing this emerging freedom. After all, after years of masking, it is necessary to rediscover and accept one's own authenticity. And this process, while rewarding, requires support, understanding, and the right tools to truly become sustainable. Personal strategies. Unmasking is not an immediate process, and that's where personal strategies come in to manage daily demands. A useful tool that many utilize is organizational apps, which help break down tasks and maintain control without overwhelming the mind. Imagine a planner that, instead of demanding extreme productivity, facilitates task management, preventing burnout. For those with ADHD or autism, these tools can be true allies, providing greater autonomy and reducing stress. Another powerful strategy is knowing and respecting one's own limits. Instead of accepting commitments that drain energy, the neurodivergent individual can learn to prioritize what truly matters. A practical example would be choosing activities that bring joy and fulfillment rather than just meeting social expectations. For instance, instead of attending events that seem obligatory, why not focus on smaller gatherings with people who genuinely support your journey? In this way, the individual maintains their energy and feels more authentic in interactions. These small changes accumulate to create a positive impact on daily life and mental health, fostering a more balanced lifestyle. Self-awareness strategies, such as identifying stress triggers, also help prevent burnout. Being able to say no or adjust the environment to one's own rhythm is an effective way to maintain well-being. As the person fine-tunes their strategies, they move away from exhaustion and closer to a more genuine and satisfying life, where the effort to be accepted begins to give way to the acceptance of oneself. So, after all this, what are you going to do with this knowledge? The real question is not just understanding what masking does to those with ADHD and autism, but reflecting on how to help these individuals, perhaps even yourself, to live more authentically. What if you could shed the weight of the mask and live according to your own rules? What could change in your life if you began to accept yourself and surround yourself with those who truly value your differences? It's time to take action. Are you ready to set aside the fear of judgment and embrace what makes you unique? These steps, while challenging, can transform your life and open doors to more genuine relationships and opportunities. If this topic resonates with you, don't miss the chance to continue this journey of self-discovery and acceptance. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep up with new content and learn more about living more authentically and without limitations. And of course, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your stories and reflections.